my channel. If you're new here, then hi, I'm MagdelineG. Gosh, it's been a while. Oh my gosh, it's been about 4 or 5 months since I last did a video, which was my health update. And yeah, I'm just really grateful that you're all still here. Thank you guys for coming back to see me. It was weird sitting here, it really does. Thank you so much as well for sending me messages of support and, you know, checking up on my health and things like that. So far everything is still a bit up and down. I guess with COVID, you know, everything's been put on hold, all appointments have been pushed back, so I'm just waiting around basically. I'm still in limbo, but my complaint has been dealt with, which is good. So if you have been following my Instagram and also my community tab, then you know that I've been working on the website and creating PDF patterns for you guys, and it's very new still, so there's only a few patterns completed, but the website has launched now, so I'm going to pop that in the description box if you haven't seen on my community tab. I'm wearing this white dress, which, my apologies guys, I posted like months ago and meant to do the tutorial for it, but then I did do a pattern tutorial and I thought, well, I'm going to upload this to the website anyway and sell the pattern, so why am I going to then film a tutorial and upload that and then sell the pattern? It doesn't make sense. It was so much hard work. I mean, it takes me hours to turn the flat pattern into a digital pattern. So this is a PDF digital pattern, and you can, as I said, purchase it on the website. It will come in A4 and letter size straight to our email, and also in A0, so that if you want to take it to a copy shop, they can print it off for you in a large format. We're going to get on with the tutorial, and I just want to say again, thank you so much for your concern, your messages, your prayers most importantly. Thank you so much guys. By the grace of God, I'm still here, I'm okay, I'm sane, just about. Anyway, here is the tutorial. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, then please give the video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, comment down below if you like the tutorial, and if you're going to purchase the dress, please, yes, purchase the dress. I've got my front piece here laid out flat with the right side facing up, and on the left hand side I've got my pleat notches marked, and you'll see those with also some pleat direction guides on your pattern piece when you download the pattern. First I'm going to fold in my 3 pleats and just pin them in, and you'll notice that when you fold in your pleats, this also follows the contour of the waist, so it shapes into the waist. Then I'm going to stitch them down, and I used a contrasting thread just so that you can see it in the tutorial. Here are my pleats sewn down and secured. Next I'm going to take my back piece and place that down together with the front, right sides facing, and I'm going to sew down my shoulder seam, and I'm going to use my 4-thread overlocker for stretch fabrics. So I've sewn the shoulder, now I'm opening out the dress, and I'm going to insert my right sleeve. So I've taken my sleeve here, and I'm just showing you that I've got my notches marked. I've got my front and back pitch notches on my sleeve, and also my sleeve head notch, which matches up to my shoulder seam. So I'm going to match my shoulder seam with my sleeve head notch and place a pin, then match my pitch points on my sleeve and my garment together, and also the sides of the sleeve to the side of the armhole. Then sew the sleeve to the dress. I've sewn my sleeve into the dress. The next thing I'm going to do is match that underarm seam and place a pin, and then folding the sleeve in half and matching up the cuffs. And I'm going to sew the right hand side of the dress by sewing from the cuff under the arm and down the side seam of the dress. And you'll also notice that there are waist notches and hip notches and also knee notches that you will need to match up and pin down the side of the dress, just so that everything is balanced.
onto the other side, and I need to sew in the left sleeve, which is missing the sleeve head. So we're going to match up the pitch points. This is the back pitch here. I'm matching that up from the sleeve and on the dress, placing a pin, and then matching my front pitch to the front pitch on the dress and placing a pin, and I'm going to sew those together. Once I've sewn in the armholes, I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I did on the right sleeve by matching the underarm seam and sewing from the cuff under the arm and down the side of the dress, taking care when going over my pleats. Just make sure that you machine really slowly because it is thick and you don't want to break your needles. Here is the dress all sewn up and it's onto the facings, and I've got a front and back facing here and a sleeve facing, and they all have notches marked to match them up. I'm laying the front and back facing pieces together, right sides facing, and I'm going to sew the wide edge here together. And on the short edge, I'm matching up my pitch points with the pitch points on the sleeve facing, and I'm going to sew those together. So I'm matching them up with pins and I'm going to sew them together. Once I've sewn all the seams together, I'm then also going to overlock the bottom edge only. This isn't necessary if you're using scuba fabric like mine. I'm just doing it in case you're using a different fabric. This is what you would do. So if you're using a lightweight lycra, you might want to overlock the bottom edge. So the next thing to do is to attach the facing to the dress, and here I'm matching up my centre front notches on both the facing and the dress, and they are right sides facing. So I've placed my facing inside the dress, matching up those notches. I'm matching up my shoulder seam, my armhole seam on the left hand sleeve, which has got the missing sleeve head, and my centre back seam, and also where the sleeve head is removed, there's also a notch to match the facing to the sleeve. So I'm placing pins to match up all of my notches, and then I'm just going to sew this raw edge together. Once I've done that, and with my dress still inside out, I'm then turning the facing out to the wrong side, and to secure my facing down to stop it rolling over, what I'm going to do is match my seams. So here I'm matching up my shoulder seam of the facing to the shoulder seam of the dress, and I'm going to stitch through the seam line. So when I do this, I'm going to sew from the right side of the dress to the wrong side, so with the right side of the dress facing up and the facing flat on the machine. Next, I need to sew my shoulder pad to the dress, and as you can see, I don't have a white shoulder pad. I've marked the centre of my shoulder pad with chalk, which I'm matching to my shoulder seam, and this is obviously on the right hand sleeve, and I'm placing a pin, and to stitch it down to secure it, I'm just going to stitch the shoulder pad down to my seam allowance of the dress to hold that in place. Lastly, I'm turning over my cuff, and I'm going to top stitch it using a zigzag stitch on my regular sewing machine, and then I'm also going to hem the dress, and it's finished.
So that was the tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please give the video a thumbs up, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you so much. I love you. God bless you, and keep me in your prayers. Thank you. Bye.